Many gates have been done. You have your orders. Such letters for glory. This passage is how the traitor betrayed her people. Now I explore its traitor must be sealed within these doors.
Dear woman, you are centuries late.
You fought well, traitor.
I guess I needed to go that way.
I can't do that yet. Stand, take you.
Hey, what's up, main resistance? How you doing, bro?
Orbala and the Sisters 5. Beautiful.
I need to fix my stats so I can use pounce. So let's fix that.
A step closer to legend.
Hey, what's up, Bricky? How you doing? My day's been good. Got some work done. But wanted to get more Chronomancer practice in, and this morning I got the ice build pretty far, but I wanted to mess around with a fire style, so now I've started a new Chronomancer, and I'm trying out fire. Hey, what's up, Shotgun? How you doing, man? I think, like, whether, like, it's good or not, like, I'm already committed to playing Chronomancer. I have a entire video on my YouTube channel talking about why I'm gonna league start Chronomancer. Like, I already think it's a good ascendancy, and there's no way they're making it worse. So, yeah, I'm just, like, there's no way, like, something crazy would have to happen with a different ascendancy, where it's, like, Witch Hunter gets all of the Thorns uniques on its passive, on its ascendancy. Like, it would have to be something so crazy to make me not play Chronomancer. There's so many easy things they could do to fix Chronomancer. Or just make it improve. So, like, I'm pretty locked in on Chronomancer, but yeah, I'm essentially practicing. My hope is that I'm leveling with a Kalgurin skill, and not, like, an elemental skill. But I'm practicing elemental skills as, like, you know, in case, like, you don't learn Kalgurin skills until Endgame, or all of them suck or something, right? Like, I need a something to play, so. I have some ideas for some Flame Blast builds. Worst case, if none of the Kalgurin skills work out. I know there's a lot of new uniques coming, and a lot of people are getting super excited about them. I am going into all of the uniques with hesitation. I'm going to assume most of them are bait. But we'll see. I am honestly, like, going in with the opposite expectation, Shotgun. I am expecting, like, very little. Like, I'm going in looking to, like, not be disappointed, but, like, I'm expecting a lot of people to be disappointed with how little balance changes they are. I mean, hopefully I'm surprised, but I'm not getting myself hyped up.
Victory is mine.
I hope I'm wrong. It's better to go in with less expectations, but yeah. I am, like, the one thing I am copium about fully is, is league starting Chronomancer. Like, there's no way I'm not league starting Chronomancer. Did she not follow me? Oh, she's over here fighting, okay. Yeah, what's up, Zero Jin? What kind of balance changes are people looking for? I mean, there's still, like, a lot of skills that, like, underperform on the bottom. There's just, like, a lot of skills where their reworks didn't make sense, like Hex Blast. A lot of the things at the top are just, like, way too strong, and with the amount of player power we seem to be getting from this expansion, or this, patch, like, I just imagine those builds are just going to be doing even more damage. So, like, there's a lot of, like, raising of the floor and squishing of the ceiling that needs to happen with some builds. But, you know, like, some of them can be surprising. You know, like, in 0.4, Whirling Assault got reworked, and it became, like, one of the best melee skills in the game when they did that. Like, it doesn't take much from GGG to turn a skill from unused to, like, a very, not just, like, popular skill, but fun-to-play skill. So, like, that's why balance changes are nice to have. And there's just loads of outliers, you know, but... like, you know, Chronomancer is a good example of something that did need balance changes. Like, Chronomancer is specifically called out as something that's getting buffed and or reworked. I don't know what it is exactly. They just said Chronomancer is getting love. But, you know, there's, like, you know, very clear stuff that needs help. I mean, like, worst case, you know, like, let's just say the Chronomancer changes suck, you know, I can go play supporting Fire Tactician or one of my Witch Hunter builds. Like, I ain't worried about it, and let's just say we League start Chronomancer, and, like, day 5, it's like, oh, this isn't going well, you know. Okay, I reroll. No big deal. I like making characters anyway. I didn't see he was doing that attack, I'm stupid.
I tried to seek peace, and the Sycamores disgraced me. Brought to the south. This time, we choose war. We shall finish this.
But not today.
Make haste. He must not escape.
He's going to.
He counters the very sense against us.
Oh my god, I cannot believe he got away like this. Drat.
We must battle sorcery with sorcery. Let us return to the caravan and entreat Zarka's wisdom.
I mean, I don't know what balance changes we're getting. One thing to keep in mind about cast-on builds is, a big reason why cast-on builds are so powerful, both for both Oracle and for Blood Mage, is Leech. These Leech changes might shake up the top of the meta. A large reason why Blood Mage is so powerful is because of all that leeching it's doing. Hopefully, the Leech changes make it to where it's not as insane. I don't ever want anything to be deleted from the game balance-wise. Clearly, cast-on stuff is fun. It's so popular. But obviously, we can all agree cast-on Comet is just out of fucking control. Yeah, I mean, some of the crit nodes do need to be tuned down some, but, like, I don't know if I'm not 100% against crit right now. Right now, what my, like, soapbox for the crit discussion is we just need more competition for crit. Like, so for attack build, sometimes when you don't play crit, you play Constricting Command and you play a Surround build. Or, before it got removed from the game, you used to play Deepest Tower builds. Now, problem is that you can play crit with Deepest Tower builds and stuff, like, but we just need, like, more things to play that aren't crit. Obviously, crit is a little bit too easy to scale in a lot of ways, but, Like, we need more ways to abuse Resolute Technique with accuracy scaling damage. Like, what if, like, there was, like, we have a keystone that makes you never deal crits and it doubles your accuracy, but there's, like, so few ways to optimize around this. Like, you can never make an accuracy stacking build in, like, most situations comparable to a crit build. So it's like, we need stuff like this to actually be competitive with crit, and then maybe crit doesn't seem so bad. Now, obviously, it's pretty bad. There's just so much fucking way to scale crit in comparison to everything else. But I don't want crit to be bad. Crit's awesome. Crit makes sense as, like, an archetype. It's just nothing else comes close, and they need to, like, focus. Like, obviously, it needs to be brought down a little, but I think other stuff just needs to be made more competitive. We need Deepest Tower back. We need more ways to scale surround skills. We need more ways to build into Resolute Technique. All roads at the end of the day are going to lead to crit in the current design of this game, especially with how dots work. A lot of things just scale off of doing one big hit, and crit is how you do the biggest crit possible, but it's okay if it's the best. It just, other things need to be at least relatively close. And I really hope Deepest Tower comes back, because low life builds were really awesome. And yeah. Nice, Mark. Yeah, that Whirling Assault Witch Hunter was pretty fun. If I do a Witch Hunter build on League Start, it very well could be Whirling Assault because of Culling Strike. It's a very good culling skill. Are new uniques, etc. on Thorns anything good? Yeah, I'm going to do a video in a couple days talking about all the known Thorns changes we have. I've made a list in the Thorns Discord. Let me find it so I can just talk about it real quick. I'll make a video about it. I don't know if I should make a video before or wait for the patch notes, but so right now, there's a new mace that does something for Thorns based off of runic power. We have no idea how any of it actually functions or whether the mace is based, but there is a late-game mace unique that uses the new rune ward system to do something special. So that could be bait, could be very good, it could be game-changing for Thorns. Martial Artist has a lot of interesting things about it that's good for Thorns. There could be some really interesting techniques with the summon bell that you can kill. And then, of course, you get 5 extra runes, which 5 extra runes of tithing is huge. Plus, the glove upgrade unique, or thing about Martial Artists, Way of the Fist, it upgrades glove slots. That could be, like, used so many ways to buff Thorns. Like, you have 2 different types of Thorns gloves we use. We use either Dread Fist or Painter's Gloves sometimes. Depending on what that upgrade does to those, it could transform Thorns. Amulets can get sockets now, so that's just an extra tithing. And then there is a new thing where you can take a Kalgurin or Wildwood unique or something, and you can capture its unique effect and put it into a rune that you can put on gear. And Briar Patch boots are almost certainly going to be one of them. Like, I would be shocked if it wasn't. It would be awesome if also Crown of the Pale King was one. I don't think it will be. But I have a feeling Briar Patch boots will be. Kalgurin or Ezomite. I think Briar Patch boots are Ezomite boots. So we can use good boots now, or you could use Trample Toe for AoE and stuff. So those are the things that we currently know that directly buffs Thorns. I don't know if I should make a video. Like, I thought I was going to make a video tonight and post it, but then I decided to stream. But yeah, I don't know if I should just wait for the patch notes so we have a better idea before I make the Thorns video.
Right where I deserve to be.
But yeah, I think the crit boots like are hopefully going to be Ezomite, and that means we free up a boot slot, which is all huge news for Thorns. It's all massive news for Thorns. I still won't be league starting it. Like, I don't think there's any world I league start Thorns. Maybe like I play a build on the Chronomancer for a while, and then I swap the Chronomancer to Thorns when I'm bored of my first build, or I make a Thorns build second. But there's no way I league start Thorns until I've killed every single boss at least once. Like, I don't want to do the... I don't know, we'll see. New endgame on Thorns would be rough. Just because there's just some bosses Thorns sucks with. I mean, that's what I want too. Zerogen is more fun builds. That's like... People say, like... there's a lot of people that, like... When you bring up why I want melee weapons so bad added to the game, and a lot of people, like... say, like, it doesn't matter. Weapons aren't that big of a deal. But for me, weapons are, like, the single thing. Like, anytime a weapon gets added, it adds more build diversity than anything else in the game. And... you know, just aside from the fact that I'm a melee main, so, like, that archetype is just what I play the game for, so... You know, which is more important. But... weapons are so huge, and... I'm not upset about there not being a weapon, but... You know... They add so much to the game that 0.1 will, like, add so much build diversity. We'll have to see, like, we're getting 100 new runes. Hopefully it's not, like, 100 new runes and, like, it's really just 30 new runes with, like, lesser, greater, and perfect variations. It's actually a lot of different rune variations. That alone is, like, massive build customization. The new crafting is massive for build customization, so there's going to be plenty of new builds even without a weapon. And we're league starting Chronomancer because, yeah. What's up, Scroats? Well, I think, I mean, that would be cool about Brass Dome, but, I think Brass Dome got nerfed. When you look at the footage of Brass Dome, and they show, like, the fact that you can, like, Kalgurin modify it, the base armor on Brass Dome looked lowered to me. I don't know if I just showed a Brass Dome with, like, the lowest possible roll, or something, but it looked like they nerfed Brass Dome's base. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting, like, we have to see what you can actually steal, which modifiers you can steal from uniques, but, like, that's going to add so much build customization, like, there's going to be so much to do. There's so many builds to make. I ain't worried about it. So no sword in this next patch? Yeah, 0.5 has no weapon. Swords will be definitely dropping with 1.0. For sure. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 weapons dropped in 1.0. But definitely swords, for sure. Gotcha, Bricky. I'll have to go look closer at it and compare what's on the DB. Which, I agree that it kind of needed to be nerfed. It was crazy they buffed it as high as they did. It was... Restome's fucking busted. Isn't swords and daggers 2 the most requested? I mean, I think all 4 are highly requested. Like, I see people asking about axes. I see people asking about flails, too. I mean... A lot of people ask about them, but statistics show in all ARPGs that melee is by far the least played archetype. I'm not saying that's why GGG they're just not ready, is why they're not out. They're not, like, delaying it because there's not many people that play melee as ranged, but there are quite a lot of people that always say they don't care about melee.
I can't do that.
But to me, like, melee is what I love to play. Like, me playing a caster build right now is like,
Desert.
you know, a rarity. I'd be surprised if all the weapons weren't there for 1.0 personally. I mean, GGG has specifically said many times that all the weapons they don't consider, like they're not going to, basically. They don't look at 1.0 as like requiring all the classes in. They've straight up said basically that it won't have all the classes in at this point. Like, for them, 1.0 means finished campaign and free to play. Which is, you know, you are going Chronomancer with fire skill? Right now I am. I'm trying just different stuff. This morning I leveled a cold version, and now I'm leveling a fire version. In late game I want to play Flame Blast. If I'm not playing a Kalgurin skill on the next patch, but right now I'm just practicing stuff. I'm just trying out different stuff. That'd be funny, Celtic. Yeah. I mean, what he's... Yeah, like, to me, I'd be surprised if we ever got more than one weapon at a time. He basically implied that the amount of work that goes into a weapon, it requires basically everyone on the team working on it. It's not just the designers, the QA, the balance team. You need the art team, the animation team, and the sound effects team. Everybody has to be on deck working on that skill at once, or class at once. It's not like it's something that, like, they're slowly chipping away on in the background one by one, but it's like a full team effort type thing. And it's just like the odds of them, like, it's not like they have like all of them at like 90% done and they're like about to be finished. Like, they're gonna have to like full commit to finishing each one by one. I'm not saying that 1.0 can't have two classes, but I would assume, like, it is more than likely that every class will release one by one. Now, it's GGG we're talking about. They once dropped 5 acts out of nowhere for PoE 1. Maybe they're baiting us and they're dropping swords in like a week, but I don't think that's the case, personally.
Furious Stone Lord, I challenge you. I need to know the kind. Does there come? I can't do that.
Out for this land. It burns.
Not yet.
Out for this land.
I am worthy.
I knew we'd succeed.
I shall.
You use that well.
I need more time.
I need to say 0. I mean, that exists in PoE 1. I think it's called... What's the energy... Is it called Energy Blade in PoE 1? It's like, it's a melee skill. I think Captain Lance has done really cool builds with it. So they have skills like that in PoE 1. I assume it's coming with Templar. But yeah. But you also have the unique helmet Crown of Eyes. Which, you know, allows you to scale attack damage based off of spell power or whatever. Don't mind if I do. What were your thoughts on the new unique shield shown today? I mean, it looks cool. But, until... I don't care what any of the data mining says. I don't care what the patch notes say. Until I see people playing with any of the unique items in Endgame versus the most juice content, I'm not getting excited about any of them. I am going to assume most of these uniques will not have the damage to clear juice. Like, if you look at some of the notes or the teasers or whatever, there's pristine and like there's new types of waystones, and there's a new waystone where the mob level scales to 90. I think the highest right now is 83 or 4. So we're getting harder content. I don't think many people have soaked that in yet. We're getting harder content. And none of those uniques have gem levels on them. So, are they going to be able to scale to gem level, to high gem levels? Like, I'm sure all of them will work at level 80, like, item level 80 mobs, but will it be able to do 30 million damage in, you know, a reasonable amount of time? I have no idea. Until I see that, like, or I get... Hey, what's up, Wes? It's going good. I did a cold Chronomancer this morning. I got him to almost attack 3. That was fine. Now I'm playing Fire, and I'm actually liking Fire a lot. Fireball was actually reasonably good clear early on with Living Bomb, and now I've been using Ember Fusillade for bossing, and it's a little awkward. I gotta get used to the timing of it and stuff, but it's going... Just that conversation we had, like... My first day was an awful experience playing, and then the 2 builds I've played today have been, like, smooth as butter. It's been a much, much better experience. So, appreciate you. Yeah, there was a waystone. I think they're called pristine waystones, Wes, in one of these screenshots. And it said mob level 90. So that's, like, why I'm... We're getting harder stuff. I assume. Unless they just pushed, like, whatever level 80 stats are to level 90, then, like, we're not technically getting harder stuff. So, my assumption is we're getting harder stuff, and if these uniques don't have gem levels on them, will they be able to scale high enough to do, like, the juiciest content? I'm sure some of them will. Like, again, the Aziri Spear was great in Endgame, but the Aziri Spear is, like, of all Endgame uniques, right? Like, that's the one you can point out and be like, that one's the good one, right? Like, it's very cherry-picky. Like, most Endgame uniques do not scale as well as that. So, like, if we're talking about all of the ones we're getting, I'm going to assume a few of them can do well, but all of them, I can't say for sure. I bet you the shield is good as fuck, though. Like, they're teasing the shield for a reason, and now it's so hyped that, like, I bet you that the shield is, like, scaled reasonably well. Well, yeah, I mean, the chest is good, too. But the quiver is not good. Not all the ones they made for the Val League were good. Some of them were definitely, some whiffs. I'm not interested in committing to any unique item anytime without seeing how they perform in game. Like, there's just a little bit too much. Like, I mean, but that can be said for like any new stuff. So, hopefully most of them hit. I'm guessing a lot of them are going to be busted. Like, there's no chance that Mage Blood's not super insane, right? Like, obviously Mage Blood's going to be cracked out the ass. But with weapons, it's different.
to yourself.
I can clean that up.
My Akara will
I'm
not
still a little bit awkward with that combo. It's you. So the cool tech is like when you cast Orbistorms, it's what's getting you your lightning infusions for Ember Fusillade, and when it expires is when it drops you the lightning infusions. And when you cast a spell within them, it makes them expire faster. And what's cool about Ember Fusillade is it, like, I don't know if it's called, like, I would call this double dipping, but it, like, double activates these. When you're channeling, it'll trigger them, but also, when it releases, it'll trigger them. So, you can, like, double it up by, like, you cast one before, you charge, you recast it, get you some juice. I think that's how it's working. I can't tell now. It looked like it was earlier. Now I can't tell. It does a lot of damage, though. I don't like it for clear right now. I'm still using Fireball for clear, but maybe I'll get over that at some point. Like right now, I'm liking Fireball more for clear. Well, they are adjusting the curve for the gem levels. They said that they're lowering the ceiling and increasing the floor a bit, but the state of this patch is almost no, like, in almost every scenario, a rare weapon is just better. I want to test this node, since I'm running, I'm testing Raging Spirits. I want to test this, Empowering Remains. If my, dudes are dying all the time, maybe this is pretty juicy. But then I just kind of also want to path up here, because this is all also juicy. I want to test the minion node. I want to test the minion node.
Buried beneath shifting sands, Keth still endures.
It depends on what they do with Mage Blood, because, like, some people predict that it is going to be charm related. But I saw, like, one crazy prediction that, like, what made... Because Jonathan said it was going to be a Divine Seek. So what if Mage Blood has a random selection of PoE 1 flasks on it as the effects? And you're just having to Divine Slam it until you get, like, the flask that you want on the belt. And it's just giving you PoE 1 flask on that belt, and that's why it's a Divine Sync. Because there's so many flasks in PoE 1... And to get, like, all of the flask in, like, that you want in the perfect Mage Blood setup is just going to be, like, slamming thousands of Divines into it or something. Which, that sounded cool as fuck. I don't think that's going to be the case, but if that was what was coming for Mage Blood, that would be fucking crazy. I've talked about it a few times. They've referenced a charm rework in the patch, and then the Bijouborn unique... They, in a patch notes not long ago, they made it to where you could use 6 charms. But we don't have the functionality to use 6 charms yet. So, my brain has always been saying that Mage Blood's probably going to be coming with the charm rework. But they have not hinted towards the charm rework at all. So... I don't know if it's coming in this patch. Though, to be fair, with, like, what was all talked about, it's hard to be like, by the way, charm rework. I'm hoping the grenade launcher hits. I mean, I hope they all hit. You know, maybe I'm being a little bit pessimistic about them, but because like most uniques don't scale, I like older uniques. But I mean, I hope they all do well. There's it, Yeti. Hey, what's up, Yeti? How are you doing? Random late night stream. Having fun practicing Chronomancer stuff. I'm locked in on this Ascendancy. It doesn't matter what the rework is, we're gonna make shit work. I just need confirmation on whether ward resets when you use Temporal Rift. Like, obviously the patch notes and data mining can just throw everything off. But fingers crossed that's not gonna happen. Hey, what up, Celtic? How you doing, bro? I mean, yeah, 40 is just such a high level for the cap. I'm sure we're gonna see the formula or like the level curve change a lot over the next year or two of development for gem levels. I get why they want to keep them around. They're very noob friendly. Gem level higher, damage go up. KK. It's a very simple, like whenever you have a new player, it's very easy to be like, okay, how do you get a good weapon? Look for gem levels and then look for, you know, increased damage. Boom, boom, boom. Super simple.
I need more time. I can't do that yet.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if Wes is still here, but shout out to Wes. He helped me a lot with like just figuring out how I needed to like start playing Sorceress. I'll definitely be giving him a shout out. Make sure you got, if you're going to be playing Chronomancer with me on League Start, go and check out his YouTube channel. He's got really good videos on just the Sorc and Elemental gameplay style, and he'll also be League starting Sorceress. So if you end up like playing, whether he, I don't know if he'll play Stormweaver or Chronomancer, but he'll be another caster Sorc starter you can watch.
How can I advise you? Go.
I mean, Stormweaver is just so good. And especially like in a world where like we have like so many new bosses, like Double Shock is so good, Freeze is so good, like Stormweaver just is so good, so. I definitely won't be playing Cast on Crit Comet. if it comes to the point where it's like, okay, the only way I can progress late game on a Chronomancer is by going like cast on crit comment, like at the juiciest content, I'd reroll. I'd go play something else at that point. But by the time I reached that point, I would have probably be like 3 to 4 days into the launch, so I already would have had plenty of fun playing Chrono, but there's no way I'm playing Caught Comet again.
Not yet. I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet.
I hope I didn't need to go that way. I probably need to go that way. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid.
Vulgar-tongued rituals be damned. I need more time.
I mean, I think cast on crit comment's satisfying. I don't think it's going to be gone, by the way. It's definitely going to be nerfed. Like, the leech changes are nerfing cast on crit for both Oracle and Blood Mage. For sure. So you're going to see less comments. I don't think this playstyle should be gutted. The reason I don't want to play it is because I've played it in 0.1, in 0.2, in 0.3, and 0.4. I've just played a version of cast on crit every patch. You think they add a cooldown to the comment? I mean, maybe. I don't think... I mean, maybe. We'll see. I have no idea how they feel about cast on crit, personally, because they just don't talk about this stuff. Did I get the thing? That's not this one. I think it's a problem that you can get like hundreds of comments per second and then have just so much life recovery that you're unkillable. Like, that shouldn't be sustained. That's not just because you're unkillable. It makes it to where you can sustain that many comments. Like, the leech is what makes, like, you able to rain down that many comments. So that nerf is probably going to make cast on crit comment, like, more managed. So we'll see what happens, but I imagine it's still going to be a valid playstyle. But the reason I'm tired of it is just because I played it, like, a variation of it every patch, and it's just like, yeah, I'm good. Good for now.
I need more time.
Damn it.
I can't do that yet.
I just sprint stud myself. No! I'm trying to dodge roll through those guys and I sprint stun myself. I need a flask, I think. I'm blowing it.
Steed, you must rest. The great steed's tusks.
Cool. Let me catch up on chat.
There.
I was not reading you guys much there. Okay, with the same patch notes, same. Temple burned me out this patch. Didn't want to build it. I mean, I didn't. I played 15 characters this league, and I built the temple on them like once for at Zeri farming. I never got over like 20-something runes, so I don't know. I had plenty of fun not interacting with temple personally. But I mean, I'm burnt too. But you know, games aren't supposed to be played, you know, a gazillion hours. You know. It's supposed to happen every once in a while, where you get burnt and you want to take a break. But Temple was not, like, very hit or miss for people, and it does suck not, like, but there's plenty of currency to be made outside of Temple. Like, because the juicers were inside Temple, they needed stuff from outside of Temple, so I made more currency at this league than I've ever made, and I didn't Temple farm at all. There was, you know, Abyss stuff was selling for 50 divines per. You know, Breach stuff was selling for divines plus. Thought about plans for which mechanic you're aiming for first in 0.5? I mean, if I had to pick something off the top of my head, it'd either be the new Expedition stuff, because that's where you're going to get the Rune Ward system from, and I'm going to be trying to maybe main a Rune Ward skill. Or, I don't want to main the Expedition stuff, though, but I'd be doing it before that stuff. But if I, like, of what we've seen, Breach would be absolutely the first thing I did. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of the main Atlas points. So I'm going to go do the Fortress shit. That's my first plan. Is go straight for the Fortress stuff and get all of the Atlas points. And then probably, like, either do the south to the islands, explore the oceans, or west and Breach. You want to play a companion build? I mean, a lot of people are league starting companions, so there'll definitely be some content creators out there you can follow. I mean, Time of Need, like, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's very good, but it requires a lot of investment, and that's, like, what you want from something like that. Like, I don't look at Time of Need as, like, you know, something super crazy. What's up, Try? Thanks for the raid, bro.
Welcome.
I watched the first half of your DM interview. Appreciate the raid, bro. I love your opinion on GTA, because my dad's like the same, you know. He very much, like, when he plays, like, you know, KOTOR, for example, where you're the Star Wars game where you can, like, choose to do good and bad, like, he can never do the bad options. Like, you know, he always has to be, you know, the good guy in a game, and anytime, like, the game forces him to be, you know, a villain or whatever, he just, like, he can't get into it. No comment on the 100+ runes. I mean, I personally, like, as a build creator, 100+ runes is awesome to me. Like, I get, like, the argument that it's going to get, like, rune fatigue. There's going to be at least, like, 1,000 runes in, you know, 2 years down the line or something. Like, I don't know about that, but as, like, a build maker right now, I am very excited for 100 new runes. My concern is it's going to be, like, 30 new runes with, like, greater and, like, perfect variations. And there's, like, 100 because of that, but, I like runes, personally. Miso is always, like, a big... He doesn't like the rune system. He wants the crafting bench added. I'm not like full out on the rune system yet.
Die forgotten.
I want to give them more time to cook it out. But like, there's a lot of really cool runes that like were teased and shit. Like, I don't know. I'm excited about it. Thorn Monk. The Thorn Monk looks pretty cool. I'm concerned about League starting Thorns. I'm not doing it. I'm going to be playing a Chronomancer on League start because they said they're reworking Chronomancer. But with 30 new bosses and like a hard endgame, one of the waystones they teased was what happened to my music? One of the waystones they teased was a level 90 area. And Thorns kind of already struggles with survivability in the current endgame. So if the content is actually difficult in the level 90 area with 30 new bosses or whatever... Is it 15 new bosses? I thought it was 30 new bosses. However many new bosses it is. There are just bosses that Thorns sucks at. Like, just because they have slow attack patterns. They hit too hard, too many one-shots, or bad transition phases where you can't do anything. Thorns is really hit or miss on the content it can do. And with like a whole endgame rework with... Again, we're getting pristine waystones that had level 90 area on them. It's just too much of a gamble to try and League start Thorns. Like, Thorns is like a D plus C minus build at best. And like... It's fun. It's S tier fun, but... For an endgame rework, I don't know, boys. I don't think I want to League start it. I'll play a Thorns character at some point, but for an endgame rework, I can't play Thorns.
Thank you.
Every time you say Chronomancer clock gets its hands. I'm hyped about Chrono, guys. I already think Chrono has slept on, and then Mark and Jonathan both in 2 separate interviews talked about Chrono getting some buffs. Or a rework. I don't know what exactly is coming. I'm absolutely League starting Chronomancer. The thing that I am most excited for about Chronomancer is this. There is a skill called Temporal Rift, and it rewinds you back in time. And it restores your life, mana, and energy shield when you go back. We don't know what changes are coming, but what my hope I can do is the rework takes into account... Damn, back-to-back raids. First try, then Prada. What up, bro? How you doing, man? How excited are you for 0.5 Prada? What are your takeaways from the launch, man? Yeah, the reason why I'm League starting Chronomancer is with the new ward stuff. I'm hoping there's a new ward skill I can imbue on Chronomancer, and let's say there's a ward skill that's like, you dump all of your ward, and you do more damage based off the ward you dump. If Temporal Rift, when you go back in time, it refunds your ward you spend, you're going to be able to do some crazy shit with ward spender builds with Chronomancer. That is my copium right now. Chronomancer's getting a rework. We're getting this new ward system, so if Temporal Rift takes into account the ward, and you can refund your ward, not just as a defensive layer, but as for the spender skills, I think, yeah, that's why I'm League starting Chronomancer right now. Also, with all the new bosses, hey, later, Prada. Thanks for the raid, brother. With all the new bosses and like having like new players following my build, time freeze is just going to be nice for them. You know, if you have stop time, you know, it'll be nice for them. And then, you know, if one of the ward spender skills has a cooldown on it, it's another reason to play Chronomancer. But we don't know what's going to be happening with the rework. There could be a lot of really bad changes that come, or just stuff that like doesn't help what I'm wanting to do. And then we don't play Chrono, but right now, the copium is Temporal Rift is going to make us do cheesy ass shit with ward spenders. And then worst case, we're using it for cooldown reduction. And then super worst case, we re-roll in like 4 to 5 days. But with Chronomancer getting reworked, like, there's so much about Chronomancer that's just like kind of mid. Like, I've talked about this many times, like, time freeze could be baseline. If the moment you went Chronomancer, you know how when you go Blood Mage, you immediately get all that Blood Mage stuff? If you went Chronomancer and you just got time freeze baseline, that wouldn't make Chronomancer OP at all. That wouldn't break the Ascendancy. Like, that is how awkward Chronomancer is. You could straight up merge time freeze and Temporal Rift. And the only thing making that overpowered is the buff expiry rate stuff. 20% that longer buffs on you, or like slower expiration on you, is freaking massive. But you could like merge those nodes. You could straight up merge Time Snap and Now and Again, and nothing about Chronomancer would be like S tier broken, right? I think Inevitable Agony can be completely removed from the class. I have a love-hate relationship with Recoup stuff. I think this is too good to be on the Ascendancy. I think this would be something you could get, like, on everybody. Because Recoup not on Chronomancer doesn't feel good because of how good this is. And GGG will never be able to make Recoup better without making Chronomancer just fucking insane. Because this is just... The Rapid River's crazy. I don't know what they need to do about Rapid River. But there's just a lot about Chronomancer that could be, you know... There's a lot of copium here. There's always a lot of copium here. You know, it could just be slight number tweaks that they're doing, but... Well, Recoup in some ways is better than Leech. The problem with Recoup is, you can't Recoup if you get one shot. So, that's where, like, Recoup's, like, weakness is. I think if you're playing, like, Sacrosanctum Recoup on a Chronomancer, it can be pretty good, but, like, you know, when the one-shots happen, there's no surviving it. But I'm excited to see what the Leech changes do to the meta. Yeah, but Leech is a little different where, like, because of, like, how fast metabolism and Overleech works and Instant Leech works, it's a little bit better at surviving big hits than Recoup is. But the thing about Recoup, especially on a Chronomancer, is you can play Sacrosanctum with Energy Shield Recoup. So if Energy Shield Recoup, if you can get like 10k Energy Shield, which is an investment, it's a lot harder to get one shot. So that's like one of the few scenarios where like... Recoup is really good. But my problem with this Ascendancy is, like, if you make Recoup better anywhere else, like, Recoup on non-Chronomancers is pretty mid. And it requires a lot of investment. You have to basically get every Recoup node on the tree. You have to get Taut Flesh and Loose Flesh. Most of the time, you're also coming over here for Pliable Flesh. So if you're playing a Recoup build and you're like a Warrior build, your path usually comes over here. You get Heart Tissue. You come over here, you get Taut Flesh, Loose Flesh, and you come over here and you get Pliable Flesh. And it's like such a commitment. They nerfed like the Recoup runes at one point. There's not a lot of good Recoup items you can use for this side of the tree, and your pathing is so long. But if they made Recoup better, Chronomancer just becomes insane with Recoup, because the Rapid River is just so fucking good. Like, I genuinely think this needs to be either on the passive tree or, like, on a unique effect, so, like, other things can play Recoup. Because if GGG buffs Recoup anywhere, like, Chrono just gets, like, fucking insane. As long as that's around. And one thing to keep in mind is, if we do play a Recoup build, we don't know if we'll be able to do Recoup with Ward, with the Ward stuff. So if there's any way to Recoup Ward, you know, another dub for Chrono. Did I miss one someplace? Where? Maybe down there? Either down there or down here. Sorry, if I missed your question, feel free to re-ask. I get rambly. Rapid River is strong and removed from the game. I mean, they've done that before with Deepest Tower. Which I hope Deepest Tower is back in this patch. How'd you like those campaign skip teasers? I mean, I'm excited that the campaign's getting a complete, like, layout update. I'm so excited for that. Do you have a build guide for Chronomancer? Not yet. That's why I'm practicing right now. I don't normally play caster builds. I'm like a big caster newbie. I had to talk to both West Desu and Crimson Cast yesterday in Discord DMs. I was asking them questions about how to play like this archetype on a league start. I've played caster builds before, and like I've played Chronomancer builds before too, but like my first Chronomancer build was a shield charge one, where like I immediately like went down here and was playing shield charge in 0.1. And then my other caster builds are like I play like my third or fourth character, so I have just so much twink gear that like it's not a real league start experience. So if you're like looking for like to start like learning caster stuff immediately, I would go check out West Desu's channel. He like specializes like in like sorceress play. It has a lot of good content you can learn, and he'll be a league starting sorceress. I don't have a guide yet. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a leveling guide, because if my leveling guide just looks exactly like West Desu's, I'm just going to be like, go follow Wes's leveling guide, and then I'll eventually make an endgame guide for the build I'm playing. But if I end up having a different leveling build than him, then I'll have a leveling guide, but right now I don't have anything, because I don't know what I'm doing with casters. This morning I played a cold Chronomancer to Act 3, and now I'm testing fire. And I actually kind of like both a lot. Both fire and cold were pretty fun. I don't know which one I would prefer. I want to say I prefer the ice one from a play style, but theme I'm enjoying fire more. But ice just was a little bit smoother. With ice, like Ice Nova is pretty fun, especially when you get the faster frost bombs. And then Frost Darts was actually like really good DPS on bossing. Fire's fun. I'm not the biggest fan of Fireball, but it's clearing better than I expected. But yeah, I leveled the Chronomancer this morning. I've got 2 right now on the Stalathon League. I've got this one. This is my cold one I leveled this morning. And now I've got this fire one that I'm testing. I'm avoiding EDC. Like, I've played so many EDC builds, and I just got done playing Plants last league. Like, I don't want to play Plants, and I don't want to play EDC. My hope is there's a copium right now that we're going to get one ward skill that's low level, and I can level with it from like Act 2 or something. I assume most ward skills are going to be endgame though, and that's just copium. But my hope is that I'm leveling with just something brand new. I was actually kind of... Let's triple Riz. With Thorns. Hell yeah. That was a good crossbow. Me too. I am happy we're keeping the Endless Atlas too. I've never been an Endless Atlas hater. And I'm really happy because we've talked about on the podcast many times about how directional influence didn't matter. My biggest complaint about the Endless Atlas is that at the beginning of every league, when I get to endgame, I ask my chat, which direction should I go? Because it literally doesn't matter which way you go. You just pick a direction and go. And I love the fact that like each direction kind of matters now. I'm sure it's going to need to be fleshed out a lot more, and it's not going to be perfect. What did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't get the horn from her. What? Do not wander. What's the flying MTX name? It's called Echo of Maven? Where is it? Echoes of the Maven body armor. You can't get it anymore. Hey, Kyle, do you play any tabletop games? Yeah, I have a IRL board game group. I'm really happy with the direction as well. It has so much potential. Same. I think it could be really fun. And like I just love that, like, obviously I'm hyped we're getting Challenge League, but I love that like each like league has its own quests as well. I don't know, I'm just super excited to play through the endgame on my first character. And that's why I don't want to play Thorns, is because, like, on Thorns, I don't know if I'd be able to full clear each section without, like, there being a lot of annoying points, because Thorns just kind of bleh at times. So I'm just excited to go in it with, like, and be able to experience all of it, hopefully. I mean, I'm a big Beast fan from PoE 1, so I was hoping we got Beast this league. I'm happy with a reworked Expedition, though. And then, like, they fixed all the RNG, so you can, like, get your first Arbiter guaranteed. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm just hyped. Even if the Chrono reworks don't hit land, you know. Worst case, I play for 3 to 4 days on the Chronomancer, and then reroll to Witch Hunter, and I'll have a blast on Witch Hunter. What are you currently looking forward to the most? Witch Hunter, or not Witch Hunter, Chronomancer, for sure. Even, like, despite that there's no current info on what the Chronomancer rework is, just the fact that one's coming is, like, the most, like, exciting thing to me. If we're talking specifically the endgame, I'm really excited about just, like, all the new, like, just build customization options. Like, we saw that you could get jewel sockets on amulets. We saw that, like, I mean, there's 100 new runes coming, which, again, I'm a fan of, personally. I don't look at the 100 new runes and, like, get upset. I'm, like, you know, but I'm a build crafter, you know. Like, being able to capture the unique effects and stuff. I think the upgrading of the base uniques is super exciting. Even if, like, most of them don't end up upgrading to anything worthwhile, it's just, like, the fact that we have the base of that system in the game now is huge. Because it'll just get, like, balanced up over time to where, like, these uniques are actually good eventually. So, just, like, to me, it's just, like, a design, like, philosophy that, like, makes me happy for the future, because there's just so many dog shit campaign uniques that, like, would be awesome for endgame build craft, and the fact that you can upgrade them is going to be very helpful. Even though right now it looks like you're only upgrading the base of it, the stats. Well, there is a new mace that's for Thorns, so that might be the only good thing Mace has this patch. We'll have to see what happens.
The Farid Aridan should know better than to let this madness transpire.
You never know. You never know what changes are coming. That'll spice things up. There could be a new unique mace that's awesome. But yeah. A little bit sad we didn't get a weapon, that's for sure. But overall, only excitement.
I can't do that yet.
Yeah, new crossbow base. I think we saw a new talisman base too.
Not yet.
Huh? Where'd I get turned around at?
Not yet.
Am I still going the right way? I think I am. Yeah, we're good. What do you guys think about them announcing that, like, the whole campaign's getting reworked? Are you guys hyped about that? I am very excited about that. I think that's, like, almost as exciting to me as the Endgame changouts. Well, not just the fact that they made it to where, like, there's more yellow tape that's, like, pointing, like, this is where Crowbell is, but, one of the developers, Suna, said that basically every single campaign layout has been tweaked, and it's pointless to learn layouts right now. That basically every layout's changing, and some of them are going to be in completely different locations, so that, like, if you're spending time, like, practicing campaign layouts and trying to, like, master them, that, like, you shouldn't. And I think that's super hype. Because we knew we were getting the yellow tape stuff that was going to make, like, you know, they showcased, like, how Crowbell had a stream of corpses leading to it. But this is a little bit different, because, like, each layout's being changed, and they straight up said that some of the areas are going to be in different locations now. Like, you'll path to them differently and shit. Like, to me, that's, like, cause as someone who loves leveling characters and enjoys the campaign, that's exciting to me, because that's, like, almost a new campaign experience on its own, without, like, you know, getting Act 4 and 5 to me. So I'm very excited about it myself. But the yellow tape, of course, on its own is huge. We need the yellow tape, like... I like to clear 100% of the zone before I go to the next one. I have a lot of friends that play that way. Hell yeah, Sebastian. That sounds really fun. Agreed, Sakaran. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who, I'm gonna die again. I'm dodge rolling into stuff too much. I got melee brain out the wazoo, guys. But I have a lot of... Sorry, my ADHD brain, it keeps triggering. I have a lot of friends who play the game that way. Where they full clear every zone. They full clear every single zone. They have to kill every single mob before they can move on to the next one. Which I am okay running past everything. I'll usually smell the roses. This is another reason why I like the frost style more, because you're just, like, constantly slowing and freezing stuff, so it's safer as the sort. But I like the fire one more visually.
You are relentless. But that makes you predictable.
Yeah, I've only played Chrono in 0.1 and 0.4. Never played it in other patches. Frost Bomb a little too early there. Okay.
It should be.
You found a when I
Okay, I'm gonna swap to my cold chrono for a little bit. I got my fire chrono and my cold chrono are at the same spot now. We're gonna see how I feel about pushing the cold chrono from here. What did I have done with my bars? Spell cascade, control destruction, rapid casting, unleash, considered casting. Okay. I think we're at the Dreadnought on both characters now.
we will have our justice.
Okay.
Ready yourself. We must prevail, no matter what. The Paladin will fall.
Not yet.
I need more time. By Garokan!
Melee Brain taking over. Can't get those fuses because they're body blocking me. Give me these charges. What is the benefit of Chrono for you right now? I mean, right now I'm just taking heightened quicksand or sands of time. It gives me more cast speed or more area of effect, which both end up being nice for, you know, most caster skills. Oops, just sprint stun myself. Am I dead? No.
I can't do that yet. I am beginning to drown. I can't do that yet. Didn't break a sweat.
What would be the plan going to endgame for Chrono? Like, right now, my hope is that I'm using one of the new skills. We're getting, like, 20 or 30 new skills. I forget what it is. There's so much, like, blur from everything that's been announced. But there's, like, a bunch of ward skills that are being added. And I'm hoping one of them has a cooldown that I abuse with Chronomancer. Until we get patch notes, I don't know. Worst case, there was a really cool support gem I saw that, like... It made it look like it did like 5 AoEs around you of a skill. I have a plan that I want to do with that skill. Or with that support gem or whatever it is. With a current skill that we have in the game. So there's like plans, but like it's impossible to have plans without like actually playing because I need to test all the ward skills and stuff. The hope is that there's like some ward skill, but in late game I'm not sure what I'll be playing. I got really bad melee brain. I can't just leap in and do damage with this build. I gotta get infusions and then do my damage. What's up, Yeti?
My king, take the power you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
The second I have the
Yeah. Late night streams are weird. What's that lag? Getting weird rubber banding right now. I mean, I think there's a lot of directions they can take Chronomancer Sebastian. I don't think it's like completely. I mean, there's so much they could change about it. Like everything is about like half an ascendancy point. So there's a lot of good shit they could change. Whoops, I fucked that up really bad. I'm out of mana. I used Mana Tempest too much. Need mana! Need mana! Need mana! Need mana! I can't believe that hit me. I can't believe I got sprint stun there. How did I get sprint stun? I got stunned into a sprint stun. I was not moving. Asala.
This is not over. Not yet.
Where your turn thought hat series into the changes, Chronomancer, that they might make you or want to see? I think they're gonna make time stop baseline.
It is done.
That's my current copium. They're gonna make freeze time or whatever. It's gonna be baseline. The moment you go Chronomancer, you get time freeze. And then I think a lot of it is gonna get reworked, but like, cause a lot of it could like have its effects like buffed and it would like by double and it wouldn't be that crazy. But I could see them like, there's so much of it like this could be made baseline. It doesn't break the Ascendancy. Like that's how underpowered Chronomancer feels in some ways. There are a lot of it that is busted as fuck, but some of it's just like, eh. So I think it's just gonna get a bunch of stuff like that. It won't be like completely different. It'll just be like merge stuff, some new stuff to replace the merge stuff, but like I don't think like Temporal Rift or Time Stop are going anywhere. Well, you already do get increased duration. Like this is like one of the most insane things about Chronomancer that people underappreciate is these two nodes right here. You get 20% increased buff duration right here. This already is fucking insane. If you buff this more, that would be crazy. Like 20% is already nuts. Because you can also get 10% down here, and there's like another 10% on the tree someplace. Where is it? Right here, 15%. So you can get 45% from the tree already. Or for, as a Chronomancer from your Ascendancy and that. That's a lot longer buffs. So I don't know if they need to buff that per se, because I already think this is like one of the most busted parts. But yeah, for me, like with the Chronomancer, they can make Time Freeze baseline, or they could straight up merge Temporal Rift and Time Freeze into one node. And that wouldn't be broken. And then the same goes for this side. If you merge Now and Again and Time Snap, like most people don't even use Time Snap because at some point on a Chronomancer, you can get your cooldown reduction so low that like, you're never going to want to use Time Snap. Like, the use case for Time Snap, most cases in late game, is when you're resetting a super long cooldown. So you can, in a lot of ways, if you merge Now and Again and Time Snap, it wouldn't break the Ascendancy. So like, these could all be merged into each other, and they can add new stuff. Apex of the Moment's pretty fucking broken. It is awkward that it's a single node, but it's fucking broken, so I get it. I could see them merging Apex of the Moment and Quicksand Hourglass, but that might be really good. But it kind of makes sense that, like, you take a node and it makes the enemies around you slower, but you're also faster. Like, you could, like, I could see them merging that. Inevitable and Agony is just bad. It doesn't fit the game in terms of the design. It's like, you gotta ramp your damage over time, and that's just, like, stuff just dies too fast. This doesn't fit the normal play, even with Chronomancer, where, like, it's supposed to be slower and stop time. Inevitable Agony needs to go. And then Recoup stuff, like, Recoup is, like I talk about it all the time. I like Recoup, but I think this is too broken and too, like, pivotal for Recoup builds to be on the Ascendancy. It's just, like, it's so hard to play a Recoup build once you've played Chronomancer with this, because this is just so fucking insane. I wish this was baseline, like, on the tree, or a unique effect or something, because this is, like, just so good. So, Recoup Chronomancer is insane, but I could see this being rebalanced, because it's so fucking good.
Share your truth with me.
What their ruins may yet.
Yep, the duration, the slow stacking Chronomancer, where you have Apex of the Moment and you're juicing Temporal Change was so fun. You basically, it was like 90% like reduced action speed or something around you or something. Those builds were so fun. I think Titans have a variation too.
We know. Yes, and
The beast has grown too powerful.
So that's like what I am coping out on, Gizmodo, is with the, would you shave your stash for a subathon? I mean, I would shave my stash for like a charity event or something, but I would never do a subathon. Probably would never do a subathon, but like I would shave it for like charity or something. But, sorry, to go back to what you're saying, Gizmodo. He said the recoup with wards should be nice, refill your life after you reach death. I mean, yeah. Like, there's a lot of implications with ward and Chronomancer that could be overpowered. What if ward gets refunded when you use Temporal Rift? Like, that as well becomes freaking crazy. Or, what if they add recoup for Temple Ward? You know, there's so many question marks with Chronomancer right now in the ward system that, like, there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for fun stuff. So we're gonna be league starting it. I want to try Incinerate on one of my leveling runs. But not this one. Are you going to make another game? I mean, yeah, I'm going to be making games my entire life. For sure. I got to finish I have 2 games in early access right now. I'm not making any new games until both of those are out of early access and finished, but yeah, I'll be making games for the rest of my life, I hope. So I'll make lots more games, I hope. Crashing Fingers Bulletstorm will be revived. I mean, that's what I'm keeping an eye on, is like, is there a way to bring back Bulletstorm Witch Hunter? Because that could be my second, my second build. Oh shit! That ox fucked me up. I was coughing. My hand was off my mouse. I thought it was fun. Get back up here. It looks like. Oh, we gotta find the jeweler orb. What's the next game you would want to work on? I mean, it just like it's impossible to plan that far in the future because like all focus is on the current games we're working on, and like having a budget and stuff, like that changes everything. So I genuinely have no idea. Well, my dream game, whatever that game is, I would not be making that anytime soon. I'm only on like year 3 or 4 of owning my own studio. Like, I'm still a baby developer. I'm not doing my dream game anytime soon. But I have no idea what my dream game would be. Like, the types of games I play, I would never try and make. Like, I would never try and make an ARPG. Like, I'm a two-man studio. Would never fucking attempt that. At least not without a budget. Like, I play MMOs a lot. There's, like, no world that I ever try and make an MMO. Hard pass. So, I don't know. How's the Chronomancing? Good. I'm having fun. Very hyped. Why do games cost so much to create? What's crazy is a lot of the cost is like... Well, I mean, art is expensive for a reason. Like, it just makes sense why art and music is expensive. So that's, like, self-explanatory. But, like, a lot of the cost is in, like, advertisement. Like, a majority of your cost is in, like, having to, like, pay for ad space and, like, learning how to promote and paying for, like, creators to play your game and stuff, like... Obviously, a lot more of it would go to salaries, but, like, everyone that works at my studio, we're, like, basically unpaid. Basically every dollar we make goes back into, like, having to buy new art for the game or other stuff, so... Try to make a gacha game? Nah. Because we're, like, in a learning phase, like, me and my friend are, like, making stuff that, like, we'll learn from. Like, we've made 2 games now. We made a horror game, and the current game we're playing, or making is a card collecting game. And, like, the horror game and then the current game is a simulator game are, like, 2 genres that I don't, like, play very often. And, as game director, like, I really don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy making games that, like, I'm not a big fan of the genre, so, like, I'll never make a game that I'm not, like, a degenerate of again. It'll have to be, like, a genre or something that, like, I'm a fan of. Because since we're a 2-man team, like, I do just, like... As game director, my job's not just, like, the systems designs, like, coming up with, like, the scope and shit, but it's also, like, I'm doing, like, a majority of the QA and stuff, too, and, like... QAing for a game you don't enjoy playing is fucking awful. And, like, when we made a horror game, like, I was miserable making that game, because, like, every time I had to go playtest it, I was just, like... It was just awful because it's so scary and tense the whole time. Like, I fucking hated it. Like, I don't like playing horror games. Oh, just dodge rolled into that nonsense. Might die here. Oh, here's a checkpoint. I might do something with the Gemini Search crossbow. Yeah, that could be cool. That looks sick as fuck. How much has vibe coding changed your 2-man game shop development? It hasn't. It hasn't. I don't think vibe coding is very good or efficient. AI has changed how we operate. We made a card collecting game that we would never have even attempted to make without AI, because we were able to, like, prototype the game and, like, have 300 plus cards with art on them without needing to, like, spend, you know, or find, like, you know, stock images or something online. You know, we are paying to replace all the AI art, but, hey, later, Yeti. Have a good night, man. But, yeah. We would have never made a game like that without having access to that kind of thing. But from a coding perspective, we don't, like... I mean, AI, like, you know, you can ask it questions and it'll point you in a direction, but straight up, like, vibe coding, like, none of our game, we would code that way. But my friend is, like... My friend who's, like, the lead programmer at my studio, he's, like, you know... He's not like the most experienced programmer, but he's got enough years that like he does all the all the heavy lifting and stuff with the code. I mean, yeah, it's getting pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of like, in an ideal world, my studio would have a budget, and we would be paying for art. But like, I don't even get paid, and I've been doing it for like all the money we make, we've made like off a card collection simulator, I want to say like 15 to 20 grand, and it's been out for 3 months. Castle Warriors, my first game, has made around the same, and then the horror game has made like 5 to 10 grand over like 3 years. So it's like not even minimum wage in terms of payment if you take into account like the fact that like even if like all that money went into our pockets, but like half of it gets like Steam takes a 33% cut, and then like taxes take like a big chunk as well. And then like we have to pay bank fees every time you like post a game to Steam. You have to pay for it. Like there's just so many fees along the way, and then like a lot of the art in our games we have paid for. So like all of the NPCs in Card Collection Simulator are from someone we've paid for. All like in Castle Warriors, my first game we made, none of the art in that game is AI. That's all art we've purchased. So like any of the money we make, it generally goes just back into the company right now. Hey, what's up, Shepard? Thanks for the tier 1 sub, bro. I haven't really ever like reached out to publishers. I think like Diablo 4 is the perfect example of why I never ever ever want a publisher involved with my studio. I don't know how many of you guys followed the recent Diablo 4 stuff. I played it for a couple days. The game's not for me, but what really pissed me off about the game was they released an expansion that reworked all of the base classes. The base classes that come with the base game that doesn't require the expansion. But they gated the skill reworks behind owning the expansion. So before, if you didn't own the expansions, you could play your base class just fine, but now you're basically forced into buying the expansion if you want to play the entire base class. There is not a single game developer, studio director, producer that actually works on games that would put that into a video game. Nobody who works on games thought that was a good idea and was like, you know what this needs? We need to paywall the classes so that they have to buy. That is done by somebody at the studio or at like one of the publishers or someone on the marketing team. I will never fucking like it's stuff like that is why my studio, I'm avoiding publishers, and I'm just hoping that we can like at some point we'll release a good enough game that like gets sales on its own, and then we can fund our studio and we can be like full-time with like hiring more people and shit, right? Like that's the hope, is we don't have to go to a publisher, because I don't want anyone to ever tell me what I can't do with the game I'm making. If someone ever told me I had to do something that stupid to my game, I would lose my fucking shit. And it just blows my mind what publishers do to games. Like, I don't know how much of you follow, like, I think Krafton is like one of the worst fucking publishers on the planet, if not the worst. I don't know if you followed what they were doing with Subnautica 2, but like, publishers are fucking gross. There are some good ones out there, I'm sure, but I don't know. I don't want to ever put myself in a position where someone else is making gameplay decisions for my games. So, broke game development, but AI has helped a lot with that. There's a lot of like negativity around AI because I think AI gets very virtue signally. It's very easy to be like, I am never going to support this thing because it's using AI. AI steals from people. And Like, it's very easy to just, like, end the conversation there, like, I'm not supporting this, and I find that really not productive. I think there's a lot of good use cases for AI art in indie and just, like, solo, you're a human interacting with the world around, like, if you're somebody who's not artistic at all and you're running a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, you can use AI art to better help yourself tell your stories, right? Like, there's a lot of valid use cases for AI art. The problem with AI art is when you have, like, a studio that's, like, making millions of dollars, like, you know, per quarter, that's, like, firing people and firing animators instead of paying them to, like, use AI art. That's absolutely a problem. But, like, your average normie, like, the argument, like, you know, you see some people get upset over, like, AI thumbnails and stuff. It's like, you could be paying this person to make your thumbnails. It's like, no, this person was never going to pay anyone ever. And now this person has an opportunity to make their own thumbnail. Now, I do think AI thumbnails look generally shit, and if you can pay somebody to make your thumbnails, you should, which is, like, it's really weird when big creators use AI. But, like, just at a lower level, like, if you're a broke person and you're trying to, like, visualize something from, like, a creative aspect, like, I feel like it's not just black and white, it's bad. There's a lot about AI that's awful with how it's, like, people are buying up graphics cards and shit like that, and, like, but I think the topic gets a little bit too unproductive online, where it's just like, if you support AI, you're stealing from people, and I don't think it's that simple. But I think, like, if you have budgets, you shouldn't be using AI art. Like, all the money we make is going into art right now to replace the AI art. Like, that's how it should be. You should use it if you have no money and you can use AI art to, like, get something off the ground, and then you can you know, then invest. Like, let's just say Card Collection Simulator makes $100,000, and then I can pay $100,000 to artists. Like, is that a bad thing that I used AI art to eventually put money into artists' hands? I don't think so, but there's a lot of companies out there that just don't. That's not their intention, right? So there should be. It definitely isn't, like, you know, only a positive thing, but. Or a negative thing either. I mean, you guys hopefully get what I'm saying. Hire artists if you can afford it. Yes, ethics and convictions are important with AI. Yes, that is a good summary of what I'm trying to say. And you should just be mindful of that, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool use cases for AI. There's a lot. You know, it depends on who you are. Like, there's just, like, some people who can't draw, right? And let's just say, like, you're making a game and you want this character to look a certain way. Like, there's two routes you can go, and both are good. If you have an artist you're working with, you can, like, sometimes the artist just wants to have that creativity flex, and you can just, like, verbalize, tell them, I want it to look like this, and then you let them have their freedom. But some people like a little bit more control, and it's like, you can make that image, a template of it in AI, give it to your artist, and be like, make your version of this character. And I don't have a problem with people doing stuff like that. You know.
The ground here is cracked and broken. What lives in these hives?
Because one thing I'm trying to avoid is, Because, like, what some people have suggested is, like, we go on Fiverr, and we just hire someone for, like, 500 bucks to redraw all our cards. But the game I made is, like, it's called Card Collection Simulator, and, like, the goal of it is to, like, collect all the cards in the game. There's, like, hundreds of different card arts. And if we went and were, like... And to me, the core of the game is collecting cards. So if we went into Fiverr and we're like, here's $500, draw all these cards, I imagine the quality of them won't be good enough to where, like, it just wouldn't be good enough at that budget. So my hope is that we can just get early access sales, and then I can, like, hire community artists, like, to one by one, like redraw cards in their own style. And... like, that's the long-term plan, is, like, just to hopefully hire community artists. And, you know... my hope is, like, because each card in the game you can load up in the database, once, like, because there's, like, a Pokedex for the cards. And once you've, like, gotten the card, you can, like, look up the data on it. Like, the cards will have lores, like, a bunch of info, descriptions, and stuff on them. And the hope is that, like, once we have community artists draw cards, when you go to that database, their name will be, like, on the card someplace promoting them, and like if like they have a you know, social media, you'll be able to click their name and it'll load up their social medias externally and stuff. So the hope is that we get money to not only hire artists, but then also use the game to promote their art styles that they, you know, showcase in our game. But in order to do that, we need not only money to hire people, but we need money for marketing to get those people to know we're looking to hire them. Which is the hardest part about indie game development right now. It's something like, on average, 20 to 40 new games get released on Steam a day. So it's like, how the fuck do you get people to notice your game at all? Can we change the topic? No. Game development's my passion and my life. So, whenever I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. Especially when the chat's asking me about it. Sorry, looking at my build guide real quick. Forgot what I was doing at this point. In 10 years, AI music will sound better than any current artist? I mean, maybe. AI music's already kind of crazy. I forget what I was going to do next. We can do infusion stuff, sure. What is your endgame skill on Chronomancer going to be for the clearing? I mean, I'm hoping there's a new Kalgurin skill. That's what I'm hoping out for. Is we're getting, some Kalgurin skill I can use. I'm gonna be trying to use something new. I am practicing elemental skills right now in case, you know, there's nothing good that's new, but, you know, we're getting the new Kalgurin skills that, like, spend ward and stuff, so, like, hopefully one of them's good on Chronomancer. That's my copium right now. Chronomancer's also getting reworked, so maybe Chronomancer has, like, a new attack skill baseline, kind of like supporting fire, you know, that we play with. Like, who knows? What are some good things to combo with buff duration? I mean, Pinnacle of Power is a really good example of, like, a buff that's, like, if you stack it, duration, you can get it, like, for over, like, 20 minutes. to where you can do like full simulacra or full simulacrums, full ultimatums. Full sanctums in the time.
I can't do that yet.
Oh yeah, you can uncheck recommended. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Yeah, you can uncheck recommended and you can get a lot more skills that you can see. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
I can't do that yet.
I think the boss is like over here. Or over here.
Foul savages worship.
I mean, they haven't said anything about what Chrono's getting, so... But isn't new nodes a rework? Like, getting new nodes is absolutely a rework, so... In my opinion. But they have not stated at all what's coming. I mean, what's a rework to you? Literally every single node has to be changed, and if that's the case, then like no ascendancy will ever be reworked in that case. Well, like that'll never happen to anything. Like there will always be something that holds over, so that's just like at least one node will carry over always. You'll never see like a full deletion of like an entire ascendancy. So that's just like unrealistic for this game. Because, like, if you're doing a full rework, at that point, you're like, why wouldn't you just make a brand new ascendancy? But reworking half of the passives or whatever is definitely a rework in my head. Because half an ascendancy can be incredibly transformative to, like, you know, everything. I mean, there definitely needs to be lots of regulations around AI. I think anyone with a brain can agree with that. As it is right now, it is not helpful on the grand scheme. You're gonna go full Ice Nova for this build? For the Ice, I mean, this is my Ice Chronomancer, so this one is, yes. I'm testing both Ice and Flame variations, though. I don't think I'll be leveling Spark or Arc. I'm not really liking Spark or Arc right now. I'll either be leveling Fire with, like, Incinerate, or Ember Fusillade, or Ice skills with Frost Darts. I mean, hopefully, again, I keep saying it, but hopefully I'm leveling a new skill, but... It's so annoying that she's just immune during that whole thing. I gotta solve mana soon. I guess we'll just take Clarity after this. I think Spirit Walker's bait, personally. I think Spirit Walker's bait, personally. I'm not falling for it. I'll fall for the Chronomancer bait instead. But I'm not falling for Spirit Walker. Probably should have put it in Frost Offs, but whatevers. Oh, they mentioned that in internal testing you could get, 1 point people were running around with 6 bosses as companions, but then they limited it to 1. So right now you're limited at 1 companion boss. Right now you're limited at 1 companion boss. Yeah, I mean, but it, like, I'm going in with very low expectations on how many, like, I don't think we're getting many balance changes this patch. I don't think we're getting many balance changes at all this patch. I think, because they said they're going to be doing multiple balance patches, like, throughout the league, and then, like, with the soft resets they do later on. I feel like this is going to be a very light balance patch. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm really not expecting much outside of the Chronomancer change.
It was my honor to assist you.
I have no idea, Opossum. I'm not a big I'm not a big minion guy in general. So like when the companion stuff was going on, I only like half paid attention, so I don't know what all they said about it. I don't know, there's just something about minion and companion AI that always bothers me in every ARPG. I just never get into them.
Not here, not now.
I don't know if they mentioned gemling changes, did they? I heard mercenary changes are coming. But I don't know if they specifically said gemling. I know they said something about mercenary changes, and then they said armor evasion's getting buffed, which is like partly why I wanted to league start Witch Hunter. But right now we're locked in on Chrono. We'll see what happens when we get patch notes. I mean, that's how it is for me, Opossum. There's just something about minion play, like, that doesn't feel right to me. You think Sorcery will get nerfed in the patch notes? Possibly. If Armor EV is getting buffed, I could see Sorcery Ward getting nerfed, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm predicting some massive patch notes. The balance of this game is ass right now. GGG has already said in the Q&A that the patch notes are not going to be a balanced patch notes. There is some balance stuff coming, but it's not going to be a lot. They straight up said that they're going to be doing balancing throughout the league because they just didn't have time to do balance, like, you know, out the gate. Hey, what's up, Dirk? Will you be at one point making a build for Captain America shield? I mean, maybe. It's like, I've got that weird off-meta build creator mindset where, like, when something's popular, it's like, I don't want to do it. And I have a feeling that shield is going to be popular. I have a feeling everyone's going to be playing that shield. Especially if it's good. So if, like, by the time, like, I want to make the build for it, if there's already been, like, 50 people that have made builds for it, and it's like, oh, I wanted to try it on Chronomancer, but someone's already done it on Chronomancer. Like, sometimes I might not, you know, that'd be less likely for me to do it. I think the shield looks cool, but I hate being a doomer about it, but, like, all of the... What's up? I hope you're doing well, Dirt. Hope you had a good day, man. I'm not trying to be doomer with all the uniques, because there are some good uniques in this game, but, you know, will these be competitive with the new endgame compared to rare weapons? It's, like, impossible to say right now. But you can almost guarantee not all of the uniques will end up being balanced well enough. So it's like, will the shield be good enough? I fucking hope so. But... what are your guys' thoughts, by the way, about... It seems like... this is going to be a trend going forward of GGG adding skills to weapons. And when you do that, there's usually, like... when you look at a lot of the weapons that are on skills, they're very difficult to scale. A lot of times, they don't end up panning out because you just can't scale them well. Because either the base weapon's not good enough, or you can't get it to a high enough gem level. So, like, in theory, I really like it. But in practice, a lot of the time, it just... if the skill wasn't attached to a weapon, it would perform way better. So I like it to an extent, but sometimes it's like, damn, I wish that was usable without that weapon. Looks like most of you guys like it, though. I overall like it. I don't have room for conk effect. I only have 3 sockets. And I am not replacing any of those for conk effect. No thanks. Okay, we didn't find the ascendancy area. We gotta find that. I've had that talk a couple times with Possum, where I feel like they need, like, not just more hybrid skills, but hybrid weapons. Like, an example I like to give is, what if Claws can use both daggers and spear skills? Like, we need hybrid weapons, too, that can, like... Not just hybrid skills, but hybrid weapons. Like, they just need to... They need to up the amount of options like that in the game.
I need more time.
Like rune daggers in PoE 1? I don't know what rune daggers are. But in PoE 1, like, aren't, like, multiple skills used across different weapon types anyway? Like, Cyclone can be used with, like, quarterstaffs, axes, you know, maces or whatever. Swords. The PoE 1's just different in general, because you can already do that. Like, for everything, I guess. I love that hollow palm, or that monk glove change thing, by the way. There's gonna be so much cool shit with it. Martial artist is gonna be fun.
Not yet.
All right. All right, all right. What rework do you mechanic are you excited to play next? Honestly, I don't know which one I'm excited to play. From like a gameplay perspective, I would guess Breach. But it depends on like how the reworks, if like that you get, if you can make it to where you can only do unstable breaches. Maybe the Delirium changes. Those seem interesting. I think I'm just excited to like... I like bossing content, so the fact that we're getting new bosses is what's most exciting to me, if I'm being honest. What about you, Prophet? And you guys in the chat, what are you guys which league mechanic are you guys most excited to play? I mean, I'm interested in checking out the Expedition rework. You know, if logbooks are, like, less important, like the actual big maps where you're placing stuff, like, maybe the Expedition rework is gonna be fun, with, like, all the ocean stuff. But on, like, as it is right now, Expedition I do not like playing. So... And the Fortress too. Like, if you count the Fortress as one of the, like, League mechanics, then, like, I'm hyped more about the Fortress than I am about the actual League mechanics, I think. What do you think about Thorns starting? I don't think it'd be a good idea. I'm gonna make a video either tonight or tomorrow talking about Thorns. Without patch notes, it's hard to say. But it might not be the best league start with like 15 to 30 new bosses or whatever it is. And then like it looked like we have like pristine waystones that said monster level 90. I think the current monster high level is like 84 or something in maps. 84, I think. Maybe 85 or 6, I forget. So like we're getting harder level maps and stuff, and like it's just risky to try and league start Thorns with that much more difficult content, potentially. So I'll be playing Thorns next league. It just probably won't be, like, till my 3rd or 4th character. I mean, I'm interested to test the temple rework, too. I'm gonna, like, full clear my Atlas, so... Have you tried Thorns with weapon swap, yeah? Yep. I've used Thorns weapon swap using Quarterstaff for clear, and Spear and Shield for melee. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard to know without actually having the patch notes, you know. It's... Without patch notes, it's, too hard to predict. Alright. Do you think they will nuke Reverse Chill? I don't think so. I honestly don't think Reverse Chill's that good. It's very glass cannon, which is what balances it. It's expensive as fuck, too. Especially next league, where Temple's not the main mechanic. I imagine all of those things that require Val Cultivation Orbs are going to be even more expensive next league without everyone printing currency in Temple, right? So, I personally think Reverse Chill is balanced because A, you're glass cannon as fuck when you're doing it, and B, it's going to be way more, it's already kind of expensive, or at least it was at the beginning of the league, and I assume it's going to be more expensive. Thorns does not generate energy in any substantial way. It does, like, very little, but it's, like, so little that it's, like, not functional. Breach plus Ritual probably the GOAT, then Expedition and Delirium. I mean, Breach looks crazy because of that Genesis tree looks nuts. Like, so I feel like Breach is just like the standout to me. Do you think trade is killing the game? No, you can just play solo self-found. There's a if trade is ruining your experience, there's a game mode that exists for you. It's called solo self-found. Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong about, like, I could change my tune when we get the patch notes for Thorns. Like, there might be so much new stuff coming, but, like, it's just... So, like, with Thorns, there's a boss named Jet. He's the the final boss for Breach right now. His attack pattern is he attacks, like, once every 10 seconds. Half of his attacks don't trigger Thorns. He is, like, one of the hardest and most annoying Thorns bosses, and there are a lot of bosses like him. With a new endgame, with so many new bosses... Like, it's just too risky to play Thorns as your first character, because you don't know if some of those bosses are just going to be fucking terrible for Thorns. Some of them are going to be good for Thorns, but some might be terrible. But like I said, like, Thorns already dies a lot, even, like, at its best, in the current endgame. So if the new endgame is harder, Thorns is going to be even harder to play, so... Thorns is S-tier fun. It's what I always like to say, is Thorns is S-tier fun, but it's D-tier in terms of how it plays. D to C-tier. Like, it is fun as fuck, but it's not the best build out there. It's a game. This is a game that's designed to kill you. There are so many one-shots in this game, and Thorns requires you to take damage to deal damage. So how do you do that in a game with one-shots when you're also forced to use 2 low-level uniques? There's a lot of fun stuff coming, and if you don't care about, like, doing all the content on tier 3, the hardest difficulty stuff, Thorns is good enough for you, for sure. You'll be able to full clear all of the quests, you'll be able to kill all the bosses on tier 1 without problems at all with Thorns. But I want to experience, like, if I saw level 90 zones, I want to experience those relatively early on. And my concern is Thorns won't be able to full clear everything. But if you're doing it like a lower tiers, Thorns will be fine for you. But for the Thorns stuff, I have a list of stuff. I'm going to talk about it maybe in a video soon, and then we'll do another one after the patch notes, but yeah. I didn't mean to be dismissive to you, OG Exile, by the way, if I came off blunt, but I genuinely do not think trade is killing the game, because if you have a problem with what the trade economy looks like and stuff, solo self-found exists, and the developers, like, actively design stuff to make things, like, easier for solo self-found players to thrive, and every single patch adds more tools for solo self-found players to, like, craft and get what they need to do to, like, function in the end game. So I'm not saying that trade isn't a problem for some people. Some people, the trade economy just ruins the game for them, and I get it. That it can be I get it. But there's absolutely a game mode that exists for you, and your experience won't be ruined by trade there. And there are a lot of people that take solo self-found seriously, you know. They're definitely a very small portion of the player base, but there's a lot of people, like, their main game mode and the only thing they play is solo self-found. And I play solo self-found too. I start with Trade League because as a build creator, I just have a lot more freedom in Trade League. Like, if I want to use unique items, you know, Thorns is very unique dependent, right? It's like, it's very difficult to play anything like Thorns. Even, like, ignoring the uniques, you can't craft Thorns stuff. You just have to, like, get the Thorns gear as drop or trade for it. So, like, there's just some archetypes that, you know, are brutal without trade. So it just depends on how you approach the game. For me as a build creator, a lot of what I enjoy is being able to put weird items together. And as someone who sucks at crafting, trading is very nice for me. It is very nice for me. And I like hardcore too. You know, if the end game is actually as good as it is, I can see me playing like the first half of the league in trade, and then the second half of the league in hardcore solo self-found. Ritual might make it easier for Thorns. True. True. You'd be able to target farm earlier uniques. But the biggest problem with Thorns right now is the crafting for it, because, like, you can only get Thorns on shields, chests, and belts, and you can't craft them, so you just have to, like, get a high, like, drop roll and then craft around those somehow. Plus the runes of tithing. It's not impossible to play in trade solo self-found though. Not impossible. But yeah, I'll probably make a video talking about my thoughts on Thorns. It's just, without the patch notes, it's tough. Because let's just say the level 90 mobs are scaled to the same life as the current endgame at like level 84, then, you know, Thorns would be okay. But if level 90 is actually, like, scaled, you know, 6 levels higher than level 84 or whatever is right now, that's going to be pretty difficult. Which modifiers actually affect Thorns? I mean, it depends on what Thorns you're doing. There's Lightning Thorns, so elemental damage and stuff, and, like, resistance penetration helps the elemental Thorns damage, but the main stuff, like, every Thorns build plays crit right now because of Briar Patch boots. Some fat new physical Thorns runes would be cool. I mean, yeah, new physical Thorns runes would be cool. But Thorns, in my opinion, it doesn't have a damage problem, as it has a survivability problem. You can get Thorns damage really high till you have reasonable DPS. The thing you want to do is solve one-shots. And that's the hard thing to do. Same, Prophet. Same. I hope we are getting new skills and balance patches as well very frequently. I mean, we are getting the ward skills. My plan is the League start a ward skill. So if we like, hopefully the ward skills aren't unlocking in like Act 4, and we can actually get one early on in like Act 1 or 2. So I'll at least be playing with one of those new skills. Ward's gonna be fun. I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm playing Chronomancer, is to abuse ward stuff. The hope is that Temporal Rift rewinds the ward, so you get extra ward for the dumping, and then it's like used as a defensive layer and a skill spender. So, ward's just gonna be really nice. But it's hard to understand them without having like the full information in front of us, you know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of use applications. We don't know how we scale it, how high it can be scaled. Is there like passives on the tree that modify it at all? So, but I'm going to end the stream there, guys. This was a random late night stream. I don't normally stream at night, but I was bored and wanted to play the game and figured why not just stream. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. This Wednesday is the podcast instead of Thursday. Me, Miso, Shiro, and Dead Rabbit, we do a weekly PoE 2 podcast if you haven't seen it. We usually bring a guest, and this week we have Rax on as a guest. So we're going to be deep diving into the patch. I can actually tell you a lot of the notes. I wrote the show notes today. We'll be discussing the campaign layout changes. We'll be talking about all the uniques. We'll be talking about, you know, the difference between the Atlas tree in PoE 1 and PoE 2. How on PoE 1 you specialize versus PoE 2 they're saying you get like all of the points. We're going to be talking about the rune situation, and we're going to be talking about the layout stuff. So it's going to be a fun podcast. That'll be Wednesday this week. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, I hope you guys check out the podcast on Wednesday, either the VOD and stuff. And then, yeah, make sure to just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be uploading just lots of new videos talking about both Thorns as well as all my other builds. I plan on, if you played my Supporting Fire build, I plan on doing updates for that too. And then I will be league starting Chronomancer. If you're interested in Chronomancer stuff, there's a rework coming, or at least buffs or something. They're doing something with Chronomancer. I don't know what. But if you're interested in Chronomancer, once you see the patch notes, you know, maybe check out my league start. I am going to send you guys over to Phalanx. He is a build creator. I've seen a couple of his YouTube videos. It looks like, based off the title of the stream, he is cooking up stuff for the shield. It looks like he's wanting the league start the shield, the Captain America shield. So, you know, maybe he's up to some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna send you guys over to him. You guys have a good night. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.